Hello again, everybody. There's Mary Hall. My name is Dale DuFay. Kind of pan around this way. Kind of look within the pit. That half, of course, is done. But what we did yesterday was astonishing. I mean, Mary got all that excess mortar cleared off. We knocked in this block that was sticking out right here. We knocked that in. Just got it all prepped to put that insulation on over it, like we did over the other half there.
So all the dirt?
The pink, we got most of it graded here for its concrete. It was basically we just had to take down the high spots and fill in the low spots. We didn't have to hardly take any dirt out at all. And we also went along the side of this pylon here. Now, if you look at it from this angle, you can almost see it tipping, the pylon, the original pylon tipping from the excess weight. So we dug down like quite a ways. In fact, we hit this, you can see that kind of sandy looking clay soil. We hit that after a couple feet, and that stuff was like as hard as concrete. So I literally stopped at that point, and we put in like 6 bags of concrete to make this. Basically, we sistered this pylon, and we went deeper than the original pylon, because the original pylon only went down about a foot, but it is sitting on a super solid base. That's probably why they only went down that far. I was impressed with how solid that base was. It's definitely clay and sand mixture. They call that ball mix. It's like the mixture they use in baseball fields and the infield and whatnot. And it's just incredibly dense. But we actually went lower, deeper than the original pylon and poured the sister pylon. And we added a ton of Portland cement to the mixture. And so it's super, super, super solid. And this side, we didn't do any digging, but we did repair on top of, the cinder blocks were all broken. So we just replaced it with concrete, the broken cinder blocks. But that's sitting on the original pad, which goes down far enough, like I said. But on this side, we went down even further and completed it. And this is a really important pylon. It's got a lot of weight on it from upstairs. In fact, that's why the cinder blocks were busted. This cinder block here was all broken up, and so I took the pieces out and literally filled the opening with mortar. We just happened to have a sack of mortar at home, H3, and we brought it here. And then Mary filled these blocks. These went down to both layers, these holes. So these, there's quite a bit of mortar filled in there. Boy, that's rock hard. So that's strengthening this pylon. And then not even 6 feet away is another pylon. So these two are pretty close together. So we didn't have to do much to them other than fill it. So once this stuff is off and exposing the openings of the cinder block, we'll fill them as well. They were supposed to do it. The people, when you put cinder block below grade or in pylon situations like this, and then below grade like here, you're supposed to fill the cavities with mortar. And most people never do, because it literally took the whole sack, 80-pound sack of mortar to fill these 4 holes. And then that one over there. So, and we have to do that one yet. We have to do repair like that. There's a couple things we have to do before we get the pink on. And the pink insulation is only going on the 3 sides, all across the front here, even though a lot of this here is all fully below grade. So it really doesn't need to be insulated, because the earth on the other side is plenty of insulation, of course. So this front really doesn't have to be insulated, but we're gonna do it anyway. And I'll tell you why. It will help, of course, but even though it's redundant in a sense, but we're gonna do it for looks. Not only is it gonna help on the R value, again, not necessary in the front here, but we're gonna do it just to cover up this ugly cinder block. But even though it's this crawl space, we want it to be nice, right? And this side, of course, has to be done because there's, you know, the well, outside is right there on the other side. So we have to for sure do this end. And then on this end, again, is the same situation. There's the porch on the back. So these cinder blocks also are kind of redundant doing it. I mean, it's got the earth on the other side, which is plenty of R value, of course. But once again, we're going to do it anyway because we can. So we're gonna get the pink on. There's gonna be different here because the other side we were able to pinch on top of the footing and then underneath this ledge here, so it fit really good, perfectly over there. But here, not only do we not have a footing ledge, they made the footing the exact same width as the cinder block, so there's really no ledge for the pink to sit on. Because it's right here is where the footing is at this level right here. So we gotta figure out some way to hold the pink up. Of course, when we pour the concrete, that'll hold it in place. So we'll probably have to loosely lean them up on the wall there, and then when we pour the concrete, make sure they're sitting in the right place so the concrete can hold it in. And we got a lot more duct work out of here. Mary did a lot of the grading. She did a really good job. I mean, it's not very easy to grade, but some people have an eye for it, and Mary does, and you know, it's quite evident. You walk in and you can see a huge difference. And also, again, we're cutting them, throwing away these 6x6s, which are entirely just inadequate for support. So we're going to triple up 2x10s right here, stand on end, right on top of the block, right on top of this block. We're going to set the 2x10s on end, 3 of them next to each other to support the 2x8 floor joists. And over here too. The reason we left them is because we thought that we'd have to keep them because of the ductwork went tight underneath it, and you can't notch the new headers over the ductwork because that would weaken the header. So now that we're getting all new ductwork, we're getting, you know, definitely it's going to be lower at this height. So all the ductwork has to go below this height. So they had to simply go, maybe 4 inches lower than the original ductwork. But that doesn't matter. The ductwork can lay on the cement floor for all that matters. Even though it's not, they're going to be suspended on the new joists. So that's kind of good. Another good reason we're getting new ductwork, is we can replace these headers and make them proper. A 6x6 again is not adequate. It did the job obviously, but not for long, because if you look at the very first videos we did here, the floor was so bad. It was the worst I've ever seen. So this is kind of unique. We were talking about it yesterday. I've done a lot of jobs before, but this is the first time I've ever done this. Walked into a house and took out the entire floor and wound up just being a pit. The first time I've ever done this. It's going to be kind of unique. But the thing is it's the only thing that could have been done to save this house. The only thing. It had to be done, and in order to do it properly. So we're at this stage. We could start doing the joists over there on that side, and a brand new header on that side, and over here as well. Get that all done. Get this. Get a temporary support sistered next to this wall, and that way we can remove the bottom portion of this wall so we can get the brand new joists and 3/4 inch plywood tongue and groove sheathing underneath that wall, and redo all this too. We can do another nice header across here between, because this see where the cinder block ends there and ends there. There's supposed to be cinder block all the way across, but they took it out for the ductwork, obviously, and then are counting on this pylon to support basically everything else. It's basically just rigged up, poorly, I must say, because it was always done you know, in attempt, you know, when the floors were on, and it's so hard to work in a crawl space. Mary and I put these shims in when we were jacking up here. And we were doing all this before we realized we were gonna remove the whole floor. So it's kind of funny how you go along and you never dream that you're gonna be doing all of this. But again, it's the only thing that can be done. So today's action is we're getting the concrete delivered on Tuesday. Today's Saturday. So 3 days from now, we're getting the concrete delivered. So in the interim, we have a lot to do. More preparation in here, get the pink ready, like I said, stuff like that. Very little grading to do. It'll give time for these pylons to cure, the repair on this pylon. This is gonna be great because the beam, the header went across from here, across to this pylon, across to that pylon, all the way to the wall. And on this end, the pylon was only sitting on this little cleat right here. And that's why that all busted up. So you can't have like 1.5 inches supporting the end of a major pylon. So that's another reason why we sistered this one on here, so we could put blocks on top of this to reach this height where a 2x10 header can sit on firmly and properly. So anyway, wow, there's a babbling here. We better get going. It's going on 12 minutes here. So anything else you want to say, Mary?
Just want to say I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day and stay safe.
All righty. So with that, Mary and I thank you for watching, and we'll talk at you later. Love you.